So last week I got to go and check out the Butterfly Effect live in concert at the Forum Theatre. And this was a concert that I was looking forward to ever since I had heard that they were touring, because the only time I've ever seen the Butterfly Effect live has been at Big Day Outs. So of course you don't get the full experience of what this band is like playing on their own. So I went along to the Forum Theatre on a Sunday night to check out the Butterfly Effect. And as you'll know from the interview that we played on the show a few weeks ago, this was a very special show. It was the 20th anniversary of their Begins Here album. So I guess in a way this was a concert with a little bit of a difference, because of course you go to a concert and you're always wondering, is a band going to play your favourite songs? Well, I kind of knew that I was going to get Beautiful Mind, 1 Second of Insanity, and Consequence played at this show, because I knew that they were playing Begins Here from start to finish. And of course, that's a very interesting album. It's such a proggy album in the sense that it's heavy at one point and then it tones right down the next. And because I knew that those songs were coming, I thought this is going to be a great show. But of course, the other thing too about playing an album from start to finish is quite often the tracks that are singles are played very early on, which also means that when you get to the encore, there's a little bit of a question over what's going to happen here, because the hits have generally already been played. That's what happens with one of these shows where they're playing an album from start to finish. This was a very, very interesting show though. Of course, it started with a little bit of a montage video of what life was like back in 2003, and we all got a stark reminder of how big Guy Sebastian's hair was at that time. We got to look at George Bush, we got to look at John Howard, and of course was taken right back to 2003 and what life was like when Begins Here came out. And then we had the very, very haunting intro. Of course, if you know Begins Here as an album, you'll know that it's got a very haunting opening. That sounded just absolutely amazing in the kind of gothic theatre that is the Forum Theatre. And of course, joining the band on the night was a keyboard player and a cello player as well. So that kind of just added to how haunting the show actually was. And then they did not miss a beat. I have to say, I was wondering what was going on when they were playing Perception, Twin and Consequence, because Clint Bolge was kind of standing with his silhouette behind him. He wasn't coming out to the front of the stage to talk to the audience or even look at the audience while he was singing. He kind of had this Johnny O'Keefe kind of silhouette thing going. And I kind of wondered, oh no, is this going to be like Tool for a few years ago, where that's going to happen for the entire show? But no, he did eventually come forward for 1 Second of Insanity, and of course that got the audience really going by then. But this was a show where the Butterfly Effect were willing to do things a little bit differently. I mentioned like the keys and the cello. Well, they certainly came into their own on Beautiful Mind, which was slowed down completely. Again, without wings, they did the same thing. Overwhelmed was done as just an acoustic track with Clint and Kurt. And then AD, again, the keys and the cello, which just really, really added a haunting feel to it. Now, people that listen to my reviews regularly will know that sometimes when bands slow down one of my favorite songs, I'm not that happy. Now, for the encore, of course, Begins Here was all done out of the way, so the encore had to come from the other albums, Imagu, Final Conversations of Kings. So what they did here was, first of all, they started off with a very slow version of Gone, which again was Clint and the keys and the cello. Now, normally that would have made me really angry, because I hate it when they slow down my favorite song at a concert. You go along wanting to hear the song that you know and love, and it's completely different. But this time, they did it as a tribute to people that the Butterfly Effect have lost over the years. So I can kind of understand why they did Gone in that way, and didn't disappoint me too much. In fact, I was able to take a listen to it in the car on the way home at full speed, and that made me very, very happy. But some of my highlights of the night were actually during the encore. Not only did they do the acoustic version of Gone, they did Window and the Watcher, which has never really been a track that I've really liked previously. Like, it's not a track that I go back to and listen to. I absolutely loved the version that they did live on Sunday night, and I've got to say, I've been listening to it ever since. It was amazing. They also did renditions of Take It Away and Reach, which was just absolutely amazing. They, as well, were some of the highlights of the night. So, yeah, the energy of the crowd was just amazing, and the energy of the band just built and built and built and built. And I think that's why the encore was so good, because, like I said, the big hits, like 1 Second of Insanity and Beautiful Mind, Consequence and Perception Twin, they were all out of the way very, very early on, because of course they're within the first 5 or 6 tracks of Begins Here. They were out of the way, so the second half of the actual concert itself was a little bit slow at times because of the way that Begins Here is built as an album. So when they launched into Window and the Watcher, Take It Away and Reach in that encore, they became something very, very different. But look, if you've never seen the Butterfly Effect live, they are an absolutely amazing band live. That, to me, I love Tool, but Butterfly Effect match Tool in every single facet when they play live. The energy that they create, the loyalty of their fans is just absolutely amazing. So that next time, and hopefully they do announce more shows or a tour, definitely go and check out the Butterfly Effect, because they are absolutely amazing live. And that was a very, very magical night at the Forum Theatre.